Today we are going 10 whole years into the future and we're off back to Latvia to have a look at a 10-year simulation. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to Anderzbaz FM. Today we are doing a 10-year simulation of the Latvian leagues, which are brand new to Football Manager 2022. Now, if you have a look at this video up here, you will see a league guide to Latvia, which has been on the channel for about a week now. It's all about the new leagues in FM22, and we'll give you a great primer to go into this episode. Now, if you are interested in this episode and content like it, hit the subscribe button down below and you will not miss anything future on this channel. All of my FM 2022 content is coming soon. You've got this sort of thing. You've got future league guides. You've got the United We Rise series, which is going on right now on the beta. We're going to be back with the full game with Blackburn Rovers, and we're going to do a Jose Mourinho challenge as well, plus a lot of experiments and who knows what else, whatever takes my fancy. So hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and if you do like today's video, that would be great as well. Give me a big thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to see things like this in the future. Right, let's go to 2030. It is November. It is the end of the 2030 season, and as you can see, Valmiera have won the league. Now, let's have a look at the history of the league straight away. Let's get straight into things. They have won the league 4 times in the last 10 years. 2021 season, Riga were champions. Then RFS have won 3 titles. Valmiera have won 4 now. And Liepāja have won twice as well. So only 4 teams have won the league in this 10-year period, which is not too bad, really. But if you look across the rest of the teams who have finished in the top 3, it's still the same 4 teams. So they are going through a period of dominance. And in a 10-team league, 4 out of 10 finishing in the top 3 is not too bad, I guess. That's 40%, which is better than the Premier League. Anyway, that is looking like a good bit of history. If we have a look at each season, have a look how many points. So it's 2-point gap at the top, 3-point gap at the top. Anyone having a massive one, 1.3 point. It's all been very close. Goal difference decide. In fact, goals for decided that title in 2025. Must have been a great season. 4 point, that's the biggest gap we've seen so far. 4 points. 1 point. There we go. RFS absolutely dominated in 2028. A massive winning margin. They didn't lose a game. They only drew 7, and they won the league by 22 points. That is something we have not seen in any of the other seasons. I've just flicked through. And then the next season they finished 3rd. So that was a one-off. Maybe we'll have a look, but maybe they signed someone really big who massively improved their side and they've gone again. And then if we get to this season, there we go. A 10-point victory for Valmiera is the 2nd biggest in the short 10-year history that we've gone through. That's brilliant. Let's have a look at transfer history, shall we? Let's have a look at transfers. If we sort this by fee, let's see if we can get any... that was nearly 500,000. It's gone up to 500,000 with... and that's someone leaving RFS to go to Valmiera. That could be key. That's the biggest fee we've seen so far. 475,000. 400,000 there. These are internal between the clubs in the league. 245, 350, 575. Now that is a big one. Nix Sliade, we'll have a look at him in a second, has gone from RFS to Valmiera's B team. I'm sure he moved up from their B team as well. That's quite a big year for transfers as well. 425 going out of the league as well. 195, nothing massive here. Obviously, I don't know any of the players who are included here. Let's have a look at Nix Sliade. He's a 26 now, so when that transfer happened, he must have been pretty young. If we have a look at his career stats, see how things didn't really pan out for him. He was doing pretty decent in the reserves for RFS. A massive transfer, 350 plus. Well, I'm guessing he didn't fulfill the clauses because that's all it's gone through as 2 disappointing seasons with Valmiera, and then he went to Spartaks and has been there ever since and had a decent season in 2029 and 2028. 2 decent back-to-back campaigns, but not particularly setting the world alight for his transfer fee. If we carry on, where was the other guy we wanted to look at? This guy, Mukweli Akale, who went from Riga to AFS. He's now at Liepāja in their B team. Let's have a look at his career stats. How did he do? So he came back into the league. Oh no, he didn't. He was never in the league. He came into the league from Cyprus. Joined Riga for 245k, and then immediately the next season went for 450 to RFS. Had 2 good seasons, but then went on a free. So he's obviously surplus 2 requirements after their great season, and went to Lipaja, where he's been ever since, and been a bit disappointing. He is a Cameroonian international. He's got 3 caps. That's pretty good for this level. Yeah, let's have a look if we can have a look at anyone else. Let's see. Jerkovskis went for 400,000. He's a Latvian international, got 30 caps. He's at Spartak now as well. So he's been around everywhere. He was at Lipaja and then went to Ireland. He was on loan at RFS at one point as well. Went to Ireland for Dundalk and then Shamrock Rovers before coming back on a free in 2024. RFS made a pretty good profit on him. Pretty disappointing season for them, just under a 7 average. 72,000 to Lipaja, and then he went to Riga for 400k. He's been around everywhere, hasn't he? He played well there, went to Riga for 400k off the back of a really good season, and then ended up being sold for just 10,000 this season just gone. Anyone else we should have a look at? This guy, Kennedy Mbewe, a Zambian regen. Let's have a look. He started out in Zambia, came to RFS in 2024 for just under 6,000. Played pretty average, really, and somehow he managed to command a fee that was over £500,000 off the back of not very strong performances. He had his best season was the one where he played 2 games. Okay, so we're not seeing any world beaters being moved around. Let's have a look at some past goal scorers, shall we? Most goals in a season. There we are. Let's have a look. Top goal scorer. 19. Let's have a look at Kemal Ademi. He's now at Rubin Kazan in Russia. Spent a few seasons in Latvia, 4 seasons in fact, with Valmiera. Came in on a free, left on a free. That season there in 2025, was that one of the years they won? I believe it was. But he's been pretty good across the board, really. 45 goals across 4 seasons. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's 7.33, being a very high average rating. He looks pretty handy. And this guy, Anderz Ilic of RFS, has been around a while. The Serbian has been with the club since the beginning of the game, effectively, and he looks like he's been the best player of this simulation. He's not had a season below 7 over the last 10 seasons. He's netted plenty of goals, and we can't really see any stats, but he's got 120 in just under 300 appearances at his club, and he's got a cap for Serbia as well. RFS have been getting plenty of goals. As we look through team goals, yeah, they've been, well, not every season, but they've been up there throughout. So if we have a look back at the league table this time around, RFS into Europe once again, the usual suspects in the top 4. So speaking of Europe, let's have a look at the, in fact, let's have a quick look at the league reputation, actually, if we do quickly. 42nd, now that has risen incredibly. Obviously, I've only got the Latvian League loaded here, so it's going to be a little bit less representative than normal, but they've gone from 88th to 42nd in the competition reputation. That is a pretty good climb. I'll be interested to see whether there is a similar climb in the European coefficient. So if we head across to Europe, we will be able to have a quick look. Nations club coefficient, right. So if I remember correctly, they were about 40th last time, well, at the beginning of the game, and they're only 35th. Okay, that's quite disappointing. But the coefficient is actually pretty high. I'm pretty sure that's about double what it was. So from memory, and I say from memory, I've written it down, the coefficient was 7.375 for the 21-22 season. And now, for the 30-31 season, it's 14.875. Now, I'm going to assume, because of the Conference League, that has inflated everyone's coefficient. That is my assumption. But we're going to have a look at the big clubs to see how far any of them have got in Europe. So if we go back to, we'll go for RFS first. and have a look at their competition history. Champions League, anything? No, some second qualifying rounds. Okay, nothing there. Europa League, nothing. They've not got into the Europa League proper. Conference League, let's see. Hopefully they've had a couple of appearances in the group. They have. Okay, so in 23-24, they finished third in their group. 25-26, they finished third in their group. Obviously, third in the Conference League is not good enough to get into any knockout round. So that is the best they have done. The rest of the time, they're just going through the motions into the qualifying rounds. Right, Valmiera, they seem like a good place to go next. Competitions, Conference League. Okay, they got a third place as well in the group stages. That's pretty impressive. That was back during, I think, during their 2 consecutive titles. They've never actually featured in the Europa League, but they haven't got out of the first qualifying round in the Champions League. Right, who else do we want to look at? We want to look at Riga. Riga, now, they were the dominant side coming into the game. Champions League, however, they've not got out. They've got second qualifying round both times. Europa League, no. Playoff is the best they've managed. And Conference League, now, I'm hoping they've at least got some group appearances. Yes, they have. Right at the beginning of the game, they got 4th in their group twice in consecutive seasons. But since then, they've not been the dominant force domestically, so they haven't really managed to get anywhere in Europe. And I think these are the only side we haven't looked at yet. Lipaja, competitions, I don't think anyone else has actually got into Europe, not consistently at least. 4th in their Conference League group in 28-29. That's pretty good. Europa League, I'm guessing nowhere, no. And Champions League, no. So without a human manager in charge, Conference League groups is about as far as Latvian teams are going in this 10-year spell. If we went another 10 years, maybe they would go a bit further. In fact, drop some comments down below if you want to see another 10-year simulation. Let me know, because I'm more than happy to run through and do it. Have we got anything else we want to cover? I don't think so. I think we've covered everything. Maybe we'll look at the Cup, actually. See who has won the Cup over the last few years. Usual suspects: Riga, Valmiera, RFS, Lipaja, RFS, Spartaks. Finally, a team outside of the Big Four, which I'm now calling them, has won something. So they won the Latvian Cup in 27. Let's have a look if they have anywhere in Europe. So they're about the only side we're expecting to have even got into anything. Now that's the Cup. Right, no, they lost to Dundee in the second qualifying round in 28-29. Okay, that is unsurprising, really, that they have not got very far in Europe. Right, that was a whistle-stop tour, a good sort of 10 minutes or so looking at around a 10-year simulation. I hope you've enjoyed it, because it's been fun for me. It's been really interesting having a look around, see what's happened in the game over that 10-year period. If you've liked it, drop a big like down below. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some more. And that'll be it. We'll be back with our usual scheduled programming and on the next episode. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Well, hey, you've made it to the end of the video, and hang on, it's a subscribe button. Tap on this. Even if you've done it already, just try it, see what happens. And then if you're hanging around, have a look. Have a look at these. One of these. Check out some of this amazing content. You won't regret it. I'll see you next time.